Hello, everybody. This is David Robinson, the father of Geologist Daniel Robinson. I'm coming today to try to start a Q&A, something I've been wanting to do for a while. Give everybody who's have interest into my son's case the opportunity to ask me questions directly, and also for me to be able to give information. This is new to me, so I ask you guys to bear with me. I'm trying to put all this together. The first thing that, like I said, I want to do is be able to give everybody the opportunity. So today is just an introduction to some of the things that I've done since I've been here in Arizona. And those things were, of course, the search for my son. And from that time, I've learned a lot. A lot that comes with trying to search for your son. Things that was unexpected. Things like having to go out in that desert myself, start my own search for my son, to later find my son's vehicle was found, and to expand the search to finding human remains and things like that. So what I want to do is for this first live is to take through a couple little slideshows of kind of give an introduction to some things that happened from the beginning. And I would start with just some of the news clippings, not all of them. It's going to be a little few, missing tons of them, but just to give a little idea of some of the things that was going on while, just coming from out there searching for my son to looking for media attention, to being able to get local media, and then from that point, expanding to some of the national news. So, and after these video clips, then I will come back and try to see if anybody's online and take some of these questions, and then I will end it for the day. But the goal is to have a live stream every morning between the hours of 8 a.m. Eastern time to noon. So I'm not sure the exact time that I will be coming on, because you understand I have a really busy day most days, and so I had to play things by air. So it'll be between those hours where I would do an hour to an hour and a half Q&A. Like I said, discuss, ask questions, and show some clippings. So thank you, and now we're gonna start it.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son.
His 24-year-old son Daniel, missing since June 23rd.
Trying to make calls as I'm driving. I just had hopes that by the time I got here, something would turn up, and I would see my son. I get to put my arms around him and talk to him and try to find out what's going on.
Buckeye Police say Daniel was last seen driving a blue 2017 Jeep Renegade away from his work site near Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road.
The area he was last seen is a desert, so you got to be prepared for that. You have to get water. You have to get certain things to just go out there to look, so.
He graduated 3 years ago with a major in archaeology, moving to Arizona and living in Tempe for work.
He just loved nature. He loved his job. He's a geologist.
He worked as a field geologist at Matrix New World, offices based in Phoenix, Prescott, and Tucson. In a statement to 12 News, the company says they have been coordinating with the family to the best of their ability, and Daniel is a valued member of our team. We are very concerned. Meanwhile, David says he will stay here for as long as it takes, hoping and searching until his son is home.
We're not going to stop. We're going to try to spread the word as far as we can. And I had to find my child. I had to find my son, so.
A lot of people go missing in this country. Some of them don't go reported. Many of them are never solved. We have a lot of attention and momentum right now because of the Gabby Petito case. Let's see if we can use it to help with another case. Of the nearly 90,000 active missing person cases, did you know that 45% are minorities? A percentage that's likely much higher because of how the FBI groups Hispanics and whites together. The majority of the missing are men. And even though black men make up just 6% of the U.S. population, they make up nearly a third of all male missing person cases. Among them is 24-year-old Daniel Robinson. And this is a very, very odd mystery. He's a geologist, and he was working in Arizona on June 23rd. And he's out in the desert, and he leaves his job site. And that's it. They can't find him. A month later, his Jeep was found in a ravine about 4 miles from where he was last seen. In the Jeep, clothes, cell phone, wallet, keys, all recovered. Because all the personal effects were there, now we have to ask some questions about the clothes. Authorities say they don't think there was foul play. Well, then where is he? Daniel was nowhere to be found. His father, David, has been in Arizona for the last 3 months searching for his son. David Robinson II joins us now. I'm sorry to meet you under these circumstances, but I'm happy to give you the chance to talk to the audience about it. First, do you believe that the authorities have done the right job in trying to find your son?
First, thank you, Chris, for bringing me on. I appreciate your time. No, I don't think they did enough. The first 24 hours to me is the first 24 to 48 hours, the first crucial moments. And those moments wasn't fulfilled.
It seems like all of the key discoveries were made by you, a private investigator, and friends who wanted to look. Is it true that your group, let's say, have found the remains of 5 or maybe 6 people in your search for your son, but none of them were him?
Yes. Well, we had 7 searches, 7 weeks of searches. I created a search full of volunteers who worked vigorously out in the desert. We covered a lot of ground around the last places, the last spot that my son was seen, which is the well site. Then when the vehicle showed up, we also covered those areas. And in those searches, yes, we recovered what appeared to be human remains. We documented them, take pictures, and turned all of those over to the Buckeye Police Department, including a skull that was found.
A skull was found near his car, but that is not your son, correct?
That is correct.
So then you get the
what I've been
black
told.
box from the Jeep that he was driving. And it turns out, tell me if I have it wrong, that there was some kind of collision, but that after the collision, the car was driven another 11 miles, and that there were other signs of collisions, and that once the car was in the ravine, somebody attempted to restart it almost 40 times. Is that all accurate?
That is correct.
So what do you
That is
believe happened to your son?
Sir, that is hard to say. I've been going over this thing over my mind. I talked to his mother, talked to his siblings, family. We all are confused to what happened to my son. But one thing I do know, my son loved his family. He would not go anywhere without telling us. He would not have a desire to be away from his family. He would not go out into the desert. He would not try to join a monastery, which is being told by the Buckeye Police Department. And my son mysteriously disappeared. That's all we do know.
No enemies, no ongoing mental illness. He wasn't suffering from anything, anything that might cause that kind of duress?
Nothing. My son is an outgoing guy. He is optimistic. He had dreams. He have dreams of things he wanted to do in the future. He loved to travel. Matter of fact, he had plans for his family to come visit him in July. I had plans to be here to see his vehicle for the first time. He's proud of that Jeep. And for myself to see that Jeep the first time in the situation that it was in is very devastating for his mother and myself and his siblings.
I'm very sorry that you're in this situation. I'm not going to say for your loss because we don't know where your son is. And as you get developments, you're going to be able to get in touch with me whenever you want, and we will update, and I will make sure that people see the picture
now
of him,
of
where he
him,
was,
where he was,
and we'll put it
and
on
we'll put it on social media also. God bless and good luck going forward.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you've
If
seen
you've
this
seen
man,
this man,
let us know.
let us know.
Thank you for watching those two clips. Like I said, I'm here today. Well, I will be doing a Q&A on tomorrow. Still trying to figure out how I can have people on to ask questions, and also, but I can share the information. So I'll be working on those things tonight. Ask you again to bear with me, and I thank everybody for who's coming out so far. One thing I wanted to mention in this journey is the fact that for trying to get social media, the news media, and I like to share my son's story. This has been a really, really hard task of trying to juggle those things at one time. You can imagine having a family life to trying to take care of things at home, and then also building a life here to be here to take care of things here in terms of searching for my son. So what today is on this live, I will be sitting here right now sharing some of those videos with you. Like I said, news clipping to give some people an idea of how my journey searching for my son has been. So but without further ado, I'm going to go to the next clipping that will talk about some of the things that I had to face with my family, how we feel this case is going so far, dealing with the local police department and their handling of the case. So thank you.
As the Gabby Petito homicide case garners national attention, another young person has been missing for nearly 3 months, and his family is desperate to find him. 24-year-old Daniel Robinson, a geologist, was last seen on the morning of June 23rd, leaving his work site in the desert of Buckeye, Arizona. Nearly a month later, Daniel's Jeep was found in a ravine approximately 4 miles from where he was last seen, and police say that the vehicle appeared to have rolled and landed on its side. Daniel's clothes, his cell phone, wallet, his keys, they were all found at the scene, and police say that foul play is not suspected, but Daniel's family says otherwise. Joining us now is his family. We have Daniel's father, David Robinson, and Daniel's brother, Roger Colley Robinson. I want to thank you both for coming on this morning to talk about Daniel. And I do just want to start first, David, and then Roger, if you can tell me a little bit about your baby brother. But David, tell me about your son.
Thank you for bringing us on, Brianna. Daniel, he's a very outspoken guy from his childhood. Daniel, he's always challenged everything. He challenged his siblings. He want to outdo them academically. Everybody know that Daniel been born without a right hand. He never let that stop him. He done everything from learning how to play a French horn. He learned how to play the trombone. When he got into college, he sought out to be a geologist, and he pursued his dreams, and he accomplished those goals. Graduated with honors. He also is a friendly guy. He always have friends. The College of Charleston down there, I've seen so many of his friends that love him. Daniel's a guy that loves to travel. He spent times with his friend on traveling. He's loved nature. He liked to do hiking. Once he got out here to Phoenix, he liked to hike. He liked to travel, like I say, see nature. And he loved his career as a geologist. He liked to collect his rocks. He has a rock collection. But most of all about Daniel, he's a person that likes to bring people together. And even in this moment when he's not here with us, he's bringing everyone together right now. So that's the type of person that Daniel is.
I will tell you, I have been reading about your son, and I have been so impressed by him and what a special person he clearly is. Your baby brother, Roger.
Yes.
And I just wonder, right now authorities are saying that there is no foul play suspected. That's not what your family thinks. Tell us about this.
Well, there's too many things that's going on with this case. From the beginning, from a family standpoint, Daniel, he would never do anything, outside of telling his family. The first indication that I thought that was very strange with Daniel is, after 6 hours not hearing from him at all, he either would call his siblings, his mom, or myself. He let somebody know where he'd gone. But once Daniel became missing, and we realized that, I think the quick action wasn't there quick enough, first of all. But then when, that caused me to have to do my own searching and things like that. But once his vehicle was found and the way it was found, it just didn't look right. It didn't sit right with me. That's why I ended up getting my own private investigator. And from that point, everything that was found from that point indicates that, we need to look a little farther than just saying he's just missing.
Roger, the Buckeye Police say that the case remains open and active. They say currently we are consulting outside experts for enhanced analysis of the data from Daniel's vehicle. We are also asking anyone with information to please contact investigators. What do you think, Roger, about what police are doing and where this investigation into your brother's disappearance, where it stands?
From what I'm getting from this, I feel that, they're trying to do what's right at this point, but I feel that it's a little too late. Like my father said, had they been quick about it in the beginning, we wouldn't be here 3 months later, still searching for my brother and still looking for answers. I think my sister that lives in Arizona and my father did a lot in the beginning, trying to push and get things moving, pleading with the police, begging for them, hey, can you help us get a search? Can we do an air search? Can we get something? And I just think the lack of action initially is what's leading us here. And now they're having to backtrack and try to bring in outside sources to help search for my brother.
Roger, I wonder what you think about, there is now attention. Look, there is some national attention on your brother. That so infrequently happens in the case of a young missing black man or a young missing white woman. What do you think about that and what needs to happen?
I think that it's sad that we still have to, think in that way. I would say my parents never raised me and my siblings to believe that, the world's out to get us. However, there are some very obvious things that happen, historically, and there's things that still happen today that's not very great in this country. And it just saddens me that it takes this much, to get, people's story out, like my brother or like anyone else. We shouldn't have to depend on other stories or other cases to push our own story. And we just want answers just like anyone else. I think, or my brother or everyone else's brother or father, siblings, whoever they may be, they deserve the same attention.
Look, and Daniel is a very special person. We hope that some more eyeballs on this case might get some more answers for you as you continue your search for him. Roger and David, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
These families and bringing you their stories. And we begin tonight with Daniel Robinson, a 24-year-old geologist living and working in Buckeye, Arizona. It is one of the westernmost suburbs of Phoenix. It's a low-lying desert valley, a resort spot that has quickly grown into a full-scale city. And it is where Daniel set off on a start for a job that he loved. He left work in Buckeye June 23rd. He has not been seen or heard from since. Puzzling clues, a crash scene that raises a lot of questions is what we know tonight. News Nation correspondent Nancy Liu is live in Buckeye for us, where she spent some time with Daniel's father. Nancy.
Marnie, it has been over 3 months since Daniel Robinson went missing. This is the area in Buckeye where his vehicle was found. This is remote. The terrain is extremely treacherous, and his family now wonders whether Daniel was really in that vehicle when it crashed here.
I have faith, and I really believe I'm have my son back alive.
David Robinson is on the biggest mission of his life. After serving 2 tours in the deserts of Afghanistan, the Army vet has no plans to leave the deserts of Arizona until he finds his 24-year-old son, Daniel.
Treat it like a mission. I keep saying it. I'm a professional soldier. I do my job and find my son. He's my son, I'm his father, and it's my job.
The job has been filled with frustration. Daniel is a geologist who works for a company analyzing sediments in the area for a well. He was last seen leaving the worksite in Buckeye on the morning of June 23rd. A month later, a rancher found Robinson's Jeep crashed in a ravine. His keys, wallet, and phone were in the SUV, but there was no sign of him.
And I think the first thing he would have done if he was in that vehicle is at least carry his phone with him. I couldn't imagine someone 24 years old won't be attached to his phone.
I'm leaning more towards, I don't think Daniel was in that vehicle.
The private investigator working with the Robinson family suspects foul play is involved. He says there are too many unanswered questions raised by data recovered from the vehicle.
The vehicle had 11 additional miles on it from the time the airbags deployed. It had 46 additional ignition cycles on it after the airbags deployed.
Jeff McGrath also notes red paint transfer on the right side of the Jeep.
The vehicle was tipped over on the passenger side, so there's no red paint in this area. So how that got there, that's why I'm saying that vehicle did not crash here. That vehicle was, its last place of rest was here, but something was going on with that vehicle.
The Buckeye Police Department refused an interview request, but provided its report in which coworkers said Daniel made odd comments about needing rest before he left the job site that morning. His father describes Daniel as always friendly and well-adjusted since his birth without a right hand.
He don't wear prosthetics, you know he was born without a hand, and he don't wear prosthetics. His mom tried to get him to wear it. No, Mom, I want to, be who I am. And so that's just Daniel. He was living his dream. He became interested in geology when his first year in college, his freshman year. He took a class, and that just set it off,
Just like the Gabby Petito case, internet sleuths are also at work on this one.
Just seeing the way the car was, the Jeep was, and the evidence, to me, it actually does support foul play.
Brian Watts hosts a mystery and adventure show on YouTube. A recent episode featured Daniel's disappearance.
After I then got lots of comments from people in and around that area that said, yeah, there's crime, carjackings that happen all the time, and it's bad. It's something that they're aware of.
The search for Daniel forges on, and this man on a mission will remain in Arizona until there are answers.
I don't know what to think anymore. Just gonna keep watching and keep on searching.
Thank you. Thank you for watching those clips. Again, for those who are just joining, I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. He, of course, he went missing on June the 23rd of 2021. I'm just coming today to start a series of Q&A, and also, to bring awareness and things to also give information to people who's supporting my cause to find my son in the interest of the public. So today is just to go through some of the clips to try to give a little idea of my journey of searching for my son and how much work it takes to keep this effort going. As you know, we have a lot of people who's helping, like Grizzly True Crimes, Gisela K, to John Q, to Q Carl, Miss Q, also Miss. I don't want to miss anybody. Renegade, to T. Sophia, and also This is some of the content creators who actually in the background doing a whole lot of work, just trying to make sure we get awareness out here of what's going on with Daniel, keep his story out there. Like I said, it's a lot of work and a lot of time. Just like we're not having to search this weekend because we're trying to get from just searching to running my own investigation. I try not to talk a lot about what the police is and what they aren't doing anymore. I try to get that out of my vocabulary because at this point, everybody know the story. I'm a father who's out here looking for my son, so a lot of this journey is a lonely journey, and it takes people like yourself who comes out to help in the background, from support to coming out to the searches to donating. You guys is my search. You are my search, and without you, I'm unable to, like I said, keep all of this going. So I really want to thank you guys for coming out and watch this Q&A. Like I said, today is just the start of this. I'm going to start doing today is not answering questions, because I'm still trying to learn how to be able to juggle that along with showing content and also giving out information. So today is going to be more of geared towards introduction to what I will be doing tomorrow morning. And then on the weekdays, my goal is to come out and do this Q&A from 8:00 a.m. Eastern time to about noon. Sometime in there, I'll be doing an hour to an hour and a half Q&A. So look out for that. I haven't locked it down to a specific time, but it will be between those hours when I'll do that hour to an hour and a half Q&A, and also information to put out. But today, like I said, would be more of trying to give you an idea of the journey that it took to get to this point. And without further ado, I'm going to go to the next clipping, then I'll come back and discuss. Thank you.
At the break of dawn, in the middle of the Arizona desert, a crowd of strangers meet for one purpose.
You guys coming out here to help me out, I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart.
To help another stranger, a father desperately searching for his 24-year-old son, Daniel Robinson.
Since he was a child, he liked to challenge everything.
He was born with a challenge.
And I wanted to introduce him to prosthetics because he's born one hand. We quickly learned that that's something that Daniel don't want. He let nothing stop him. He decided to be a geologist once he got into freshman year in college. He excelled that, he graduated with honors.
Daniel's first job is checking the viability of water wells in the Arizona desert.
He loved this area, of course, because of the rock formation. You're a geologist, this is the best place to be.
But the terrain became a hellscape for his dad when Daniel went missing back in June from his job site.
And what number search is this?
This is search number 14.
Navigating the dangers in the desert, the Army veteran knows firsthand time is of the essence.
When I called the Buckeye Police Department, they told me that I had to wait an extra 3 hours because they had a 12-hour, report time when you can say a person is missing. Then I called them back and put in a missing person report. I got very worried. That's when I got very worried. I asked the Buckeye Police Department to go out and search that area. The officer told me that they were going to send a vehicle out there, a helicopter out to search for him. I was relieved. And then he called back an hour later and said, no, it was a no-go. I'm his dad, and he's my son. I've lost all sense of reality. At that moment, I said, you know what? They're not going to look for my son. I'm going to have to do it myself.
Before he arrived, police did decide to search on foot and with helicopters.
This is the last place your son was seen?
My last place.
What do you think happened, David?
I think a lot happened here. I'm very suspicious.
But he doesn't know what. A month in, there's a break in the case, and police call Robinson.
I got afraid, actually, that it's going to be some bad news. He said, no, we just found his vehicle.
Some ranchers found it, and then at that point, we conducted our investigation and additional searches.
What was the condition of the car? If it had rolled over, it sounds like it was pretty bad.
Yeah, the car was on its side. The sunroof was kicked out at that point, so he might have exited through the sunroof.
His wrecked car in a ravine, both airbags deployed, Daniel's cell phone, clothes he was wearing that day, and a case of water all found at the crash site. But not Daniel.
People don't just disappear into thin air.
True.
Does that sort of feel like what's happened here?
Yes. Yeah, it's very, very challenging case.
No matter how much the family asks for this to be a criminal investigation, can you make that happen?
We can't make up evidence. Absolutely suspicious circumstances related to the case.
Frustrated and heartbroken, Robinson hired a private investigator.
Where are we going?
Down here is where the vehicle was recovered from.
Is that the glass from the car?
Yes.
When you looked at this accident, what are the discrepancies that you noticed right away?
I believe it was in more than one collision.
What does the data from the black box of the car tell you?
That there was 11 additional miles on the vehicle since the airbags came out.
What does that tell you?
That tells me it was crashed somewhere else.
Does that sound suspicious? What explains that?
Well, we had the national expert that came in and provided us his findings, and then they ended up speaking to an expert at Jeep, and the expert says, yes, sometimes that happens, and it's not unusual.
But the data also shows someone tried to start the car 46 times after the crash.
That's something we can't explain.
It begs the question again. The family is saying it's criminal. It's got to be a reason danger. Do something.
Right. No, I agree. But we need information. We need evidence.
He's got a lot of theories. His words, I think, were, I don't think they cared. What do you say to that?
Can be furthest from the truth.
Losing hope, Robinson began pleading for media coverage.
It literally took 3 months.
While Robinson searched for his son, the country became riveted by media coverage of another missing persons case, the case of Gabby Petito.
In my situation, people think I love our children less or something, or they're less important.
In 2020, more than 543,000 missing persons records were filed. More than 480,000 were cleared. And 40% of the missing are people of color.
There are a lot of Gabby Petitos and Natalie Holloways in the Black and brown community.
That's why former police officer Derica Wilson co-founded Black and Missing Inc. and says too often their cases go untold. Eventually, local stations did stories and citizens began helping search.
Did you know Daniel?
No, I just wanted to help.
You're just helping out a stranger on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Why?
You know what? I can't imagine what that man's going through.
As the search for Daniel goes into its 5th month, another family is in the midst of a terrible mystery for a 5th year. The family of Nikki and Ariana Fitz.
Ariana is very energetic, very happy.
2-year-old Ariana went missing under the most suspicious of circumstances in the San Francisco Bay Area in 2016. Her mother, Nikki Fitz, was found in a shallow grave in San Francisco's McLaren Park, but Ariana was gone.
It breaks my heart that Ariana's not with her mom and Ariana's not with her family. But it also breaks my heart even more is that I know that Nikki wants nothing more than Ariana to be with us, to be home.
Tessa Fitz says she is convinced her niece Ariana was taken by people close to Ariana's mother. San Francisco police searched for weeks. They had some leads, but no arrests. A digitally altered photo was made of what she may look like now.
And she's 8 now. I don't want to see this in a picture. I want to see her face in person.
Should Ariana Fitz be a household name like JonBenet Ramsey?
Absolutely. Why is her case any different from Kaylee Anthony? I can tell you, the color of their skin is the only difference.
For 5 desperate years, the family has continued searching using flyers, social media, and Black and Missing Inc.
Do you think it has anything to do with color?
I tried to put myself in the mindset of the race issue with the media coverage. All I want is for there to be media coverage for her. I think she deserves that.
The Fitz and the Robinsons want only one thing, with hugging their missing children once again.
Do you think that Ariana is still alive?
I do believe that Ariana is still alive. Everything to me to know where she is and to find her. I wait for that day every single day. I believe that day will come.
How long will you search?
Till I find my son. I have to. I mean, he's my responsibility.
Sarah Seidner, CNN, Buckeye, Arizona.
Thank you again for coming on to watch the first broadcast that I will be doing, hopefully every morning again. For those who just joined, thank you for coming on. Those who are already been on, thanks for being here. Today, like I said, I was just doing a series of videos to try to give an idea of everything that I've been doing since coming out to Arizona to search for my son. And like I said, I'm grateful for everybody that is a part of that mission. to finding my son. The last clip is to show the support that I've gotten from volunteers. Like I said, without you guys, I mean, in every capacity, helping me, I wouldn't even have a search. When I first got here in Arizona, just going around trying to just didn't know what to do, where to go, how to get anything started and know anyone is very difficult, pulling things together from the ground. And like I said, this is grassroots search. I was able to find people like in the past, like Paul Adams, who started at the beginning. And of course, we have Evan Short, who's been here since he came along, and his wife. And just for the searches, those guys literally just did their thing. Mr. Short still out there handling a lot of what goes on in the search, from the mapping system to we get together and find out the grids and everything that we need to search every week. So we're not professionals, but we're working together. Right now for the searches, it's a 2-man team. So we're out there working very hard. Of course, as you know, I had to hire an investigator based on everything that you guys see. I had left my banner, I usually have it behind me so I can point out the fact, that my son's vehicle was, to remind people who don't know, who's watching, my son's vehicle was found in that ravine, and the way it was, where it looked, very suspicious. Anybody, you don't have to be a father or it had to be one of your loved ones missing, but you can look at that and say, hey, that's suspicious, So, like I said, when I seen that type of thing, I had to get a private investigator on, because things I heard, reasoning theories and stuff like that didn't match what you can see with your own eyes. So I tell myself to believe what you see with your own eyes. That's suspicious, and it be treated that way. But today, I would love to answer a lot of questions, have some people on. What I would do is try to learn how to do an invite. I do see an invite button. I would talk to Ms. Gisela Kay and some of the other content creators. She did help me with some videos of how to get this thing going. So I really have to find the time to look at the video again. I know you're watching, and I'm going to go through the video and learn how to add certain things like the introduction to, like I said, getting people on so I can, so you guys can ask those questions. Maybe a moderator, something like that, to look at your questions and so I can answer those questions. But for those who just come on, I will be starting to try to do every day of the week, except for, of course, on Saturdays, because I have a search. So this Saturday I won't have a search, of course, and I'm really gearing to most likely not do a search on next week. I will let my logistics coordinator, search coordinator, Evan Short, know my decision today. That is based on funding. We have to save some funding to try to get this forensic work done. So that's the reason why some of these content creators you see out here pushing really hard to for the GoFundMe to get more resources, so we can be able to do both the city searches, the desert search, and also the investigation that I'm doing. All those things I have to do myself. Guys, everybody need to know that it's not easy. The videos will show you constantly is a constant thing. It's never a sitting down motion. It's not a time where we don't have to spend resources out there. We spend money every week. You see the GoFundMe, the numbers that you may see on the GoFundMe is not the reality of the number that's really happening. That just to show how much people have donated thus far. But those monies are being used. We're utilizing it in the right way, and that's to search for Daniel. So I want people to be clear and understand that it's a moving process. I wish you guys can see, and that's the reason why I'm bringing these videos, so you guys can kind of understand what it takes to move an effort like this. From flyers to so I'll put some more videos up. When we had the Q&A, when I started, I try to have more content where you guys can see the way the searches are performed, to the city searches, to some things that goes on in the background with in terms of investigation. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot of time. Takes a lot of, like I said, resources. But thank you guys for coming on. I think I will end it here. For those, like I said, who just come on, I will be trying to do this every morning, and it will be between the hours, for now, the hours of 8 a.m. Eastern time to noon. But in between those hours, I will only be doing an hour to an hour and a half Q&A, answering your questions, to giving out information, and also provide a certain clip or something to give you an idea of what I'm doing. So thank you for joining, and I hope I see you the next time. Thanks.